Hi, this is Amy, and in this training, I want to share 5 ways you can get more book exposure with the Goodreads.com website. If you're not familiar with Goodreads, it's huge. It's actually owned by Amazon now, and it is the #1 social site for book readers. There's more than 40 million book lovers on there, and Goodreads gets more than 300 million page views and 45 million unique visitors a month. If you enjoy reading books and are an author or publisher, you want to be on Goodreads. And in this training, I'm just going to share a few strategies with you on how you can use Goodreads effectively and use it to get more exposure to your books. There are many different ways that you can actually leverage Goodreads, and I'm just going to be sharing a few different strategies here with you in this training that I think are effective. So course #1 is you want to join as a reader. So you can share your own love of books, you can add books and optimize your reader profile. I think if you're going to be on there as an author, it's important to also have a presence as a reader as well, because it's really about being a community of book lovers, and you don't want to have an author presence and no reader presence, because people will be looking at both of your profiles. They want to see what books you've read, what books you have on your shelves, things like that. And in terms of specific author and publisher tips, the first thing you want to do is create and optimize your author profile. Basically, Goodreads gives you like a whole little page where you can put a bunch of stuff on there that is relevant to you and your books and social media. So you can add videos, your blog, book previews, social media. I'll just get out of this quickly here and let me just show you what this can look like. This is mine for, now I have a number of pen names, but this is one that I have just for me under my name. So you can see this, you can see it's my website, you can see I've been a member for a while, about me, and then this is my blog, which is great because this is my latest product, and I also have more information type posts on my blog as well, as you probably know if you read my blog. And then you can see there's a little Twitter and Facebook there, so people can connect with me in social media. And then I have a few of my books here listed under my actual name. And then I also have some videos here as well. That's a nice one. And then it also ties into with your reader persona, because I have my bookshelves and friends here too. So go ahead and get your author profile set up. One of the things that I had mentioned years ago, several years ago, with my first Kindle training product, Kickstart Kindle Promotion, is I talked a lot about lists. On Amazon, they used to have a lot of lists. I think there's still some on there, but they don't really feature them very much. They used to have, I think it was Listopia and some other things. So you could create reading lists on there, and you could put your book on there. Well, now you can actually do that on Goodreads. So you can add your book to relevant reading lists or create relevant lists yourself. And you can find this over here on goodreads.com /lists. And let me again just show you here what this looks like. And you can create up to 1 list a day, and they just give you a little bit of guidelines here. And then if you go here, you'll see that there are a bunch of different lists. If you have too many books on that list, it's going to be hard for people to actually find your book because it's going to be at the bottom. But if there's not a lot of books on there, there may not be like tons of traffic. Like here's some brand new lists. Skiing in the Alps, that's pretty specifically. Or young adult favorites. So you could get your book. This is a good one too, because you can get your book on these newer lists before actually it they get bigger. Now, of course, your book needs to fit. You don't want to, if you're going to be putting your book on young adult favorites, you want to make sure that it's a young adult book. You don't want to be putting like a steamy romance on there or something. So you can add books to lists here. So that's one way that you can get your book more traction and more visibility, and that just takes like a minute or so to either create a list or add your book or have somebody else do it. Another thing you can do is you can do quizzes, polls, and trivia. Again, these are sort of fun things for book lovers to help discover new books. And they have different quizzes that you can do. You can also do polls where you ask yes or no type of questions. You can create a poll, who's your favorite villain, and then you might list like 5 villains or something. So one of the things with these types of quizzes and polls is you want to tie into popular ideas and trends, but again, stay away from things that might have too many quizzes. Kind of like when you're doing the book lists. You want to be sure you're not being buried in the results with your quiz, and you want to be able to have your quiz on the first page or your poll on the first page. But with a little creativity, you can come up with things that maybe people are interested in or popular, but there's not a specific quiz or poll on that. And you can run a Goodreads giveaway. And I've talked about this before. I've done giveaways before, and you have to do physical books, but what you can do is fulfill them with CreateSpace books, and this can be very popular. As you can see with this example here, over almost 2,500 people are requesting only 30 copies. So this can give you a lot of visibility for your book. And again, it's really that type of visibility doesn't cost you hardly anything other than sending a couple of books out on CreateSpace. I think that could be very powerful. It's called Goodreads Marketing Guru, and it's by David Lynch and Barbara O'Toole, and the link is here. And it's just a really great resource guide for actually maximizing Goodreads, because the few things that I showed you in this training are great, but they are also really just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of other tools and strategies you can use with Goodreads. In fact, it can be a little bit overwhelming for authors because there's just so much stuff you can do on there. So if these tips and strategies intrigue you, or you realize the potential there and you want to be able to leverage this huge site a little bit better, then you can check out this ultimate guide here at the link.